All right, let's talk about a simple tweak you can make to your website that can unlock some serious cash in your business. This is something I've done across multiple businesses. We've actually tracked it and attributed millions of dollars in revenue to having implemented this one simple strategy. So I'm going to go over that. I'm also going to go over how to optimize your landing pages so you can convert more people on your website to doing what you want them to do. So let's dive in. What is this small little tweak? It is simple. It is easy. You are going to add a button, a call to action in the top right-hand corner of your website. Don't sign off yet. You're going to think, oh, I already did that. Whether you've done it or not, you could be doing it wrong. So let's talk about it a little bit more. You've seen this on websites. It may already be on your website. A very simple button in the top right-hand corner. That's the small little tweak. But here's the deal. You need to make sure that you are doing the right things and you are testing frequently. So the right thing is making sure that that button leads to the next logical step in your business. Let me say that again. The next logical step in your business, not the final step, not the, oh, you ready to buy and become a customer? Not that version, just the next logical step. You have to know your process. Is the next logical step scheduling an evaluation? Is the next logical step becoming a lead? Just give me your name and email address and I will call you back. Is the next logical step actually buying something? You have to know what the next logical step is. It's not what you ultimately want them to do. Maybe it's really just the next logical step. So make sure you have that box checked. I've got the button and it's the next logical step. The next thing you need to do with this button is test. Nobody ever tests anything on their website. I don't know why. It's easy to do, especially with all the tech that we have out there today. So you're going to run increments of 30 days testing this button. So if I am pointing this button to a page, now the only way to get to this page is from this button. Don't have this page accessible anywhere else. And I say, okay, let me look at these page metrics. All right, I got 100 people to click on this in the last month. Okay, 100 people clicked on it. How many people filled out the form? Well, 30 people filled out the form. Cool, you have a 30% conversion rate. You also only want that form to exist on this page. That way you can keep tight controls of this test. Now you start playing with conversion rates. If I actually had 100 people visit and I had 30 people taking the action I want, that's a 30% conversion rate. That's pretty good if I'm just trying to get leads. But here's the deal. Where you want your conversion rate to be is probably anywhere between 10 and 50%. But it really depends on what the call to action is. If the call to action is something simple, like give me your name, email address, or name, email address, phone number, then you want to be closer to that 30, 40, 50%. If it's a much bigger ask, like, hey, fill out this 15 question form and book an appointment or schedule an evaluation, you're going to have a much lower percentage. We have seen people have a lot more success when they put the work on the business owner. Hey, just give me your contact information. I'll follow up with you as fast as I can. And bonus points for you. If you can actually follow up with them within 15, 20 minutes, an hour, whatever it is, you're going to greatly increase the likelihood of them becoming a lead or customer or taking the next steps with you. So have the button, like I said, you might already have, but make sure it's the next logical step, and 2, that you're testing it frequently so you actually know your conversion rate. The fact that it's there doesn't unlock some magical cash grab. You have to make sure it's converting well. And that's why I want to talk about part 2 in this video, is the framework for making sure that your landing pages are actually going to convert. So I actually heard about this framework from a 9-figure CEO. He said that he used this marketing framework for all of his landing pages on his site. He didn't create it, but he said it's what he used. And I was like, you know what? If it's good enough for you, it's good enough for me. That's years ago. And I've been using this framework and it's super effective. It is called the AIDA framework, AIDA. So it's attention, interest, desire, action. And that is ultimately what you are trying to check off. Now, I'm going to give you examples as we walk through this, AIDA. I'm going to give you a very specific example of brick and mortar clinic, like a cash-based physical therapy clinic, just because I work with a lot of people like that. So that's what I'm going to go over. But just know, if your page checks off attention, interest, desire, action, you don't have to do everything I say, you will be moving in the direction. Because what I see a lot of times is like, I got the button, I'm not testing it, it's not the next logical step. And then when I get there, it's just a form in someone's face and they have no real reason why they should figure it out. You haven't put any marketing strategies behind it. Well, here's what you do. Let's go through the example of this, physical therapy cash-based clinic. You're going to want the attention section. You want a headline, subheadline, and problem. Here's what that would look like. Get out of pain and back to doing what you love without surgery or pain meds. That's the headline. Subheadline. We help active adults recover from injuries and stay pain-free with expert hands-on therapy and movement-based treatment. Boom, we have the subheadline so they know what you do. Now you're going to state the problem. Still dealing with nagging pain, tired of temporary fixes that don't last, traditional healthcare rushes you in and out, leaving you without real solutions. So now you have a very compelling opening to your page, whatever this page is for that the button leads to. You have gotten someone's attention. Now you need to get their interest. You're going to do this with either videos or pictures. So you can have a short video of you explaining your method or just explaining how to take the next steps with you. The real reason you're putting yourself on video is to get people more comfortable with you. It's not as much of it being a sales video. So you don't have to worry about mastering that. You just want to warm people up to who you are, who they'll be working with, and you want to show your face so they know that you're a human being. Okay, so a video goes a long way. If you're not comfortable with video, then you can have pictures of you working with a person or just a picture of you and your team in general. That'll go a long way in the interest section. Now the internal validation, you could put some text like this. Our clients trust us because we take time to assess, diagnose, and create professionalized plans that work without the runaround. Some sort of internal validation about why your method or your process works. Other examples that you're going to want to put on there are you're going to want to put actual examples too of the types of people you work with. So some other examples of these examples. So it'd be, can't run because of knee pain. We've helped dozens of runners avoid surgery and get back on the road. Another one, struggling with back pain at work. We pinpoint the root cause and help you fix it for good. So you have the video or the picture. You have the internal validation saying hey, here's what we do. Here's why our process works. Then you have an example. The example contextualizes it for the prospect. So they're like, oh yeah, I do have that knee pain. Or yeah, I do have that back pain. So now they can start to feel like you really understand what they're looking to fix. So now we move on to the D in AIDA, and that is desire. So for the desire, you can do a couple of different things. One way to do this is with price. I know a lot of people don't like to put price on there, but if you are running any kind of promotion or discount or whatever, and you do want people to know, you could open up with something like, hey, my typical evaluation is $300, but if you book using on this form, it'll be $99 and we have limited spots if you actually have limited spots. Again, that's if you're leading with price. If not, you don't have to do price at all. You would then next have on the page a testimonial. And so you could have something like, after just 3 sessions, I was back playing golf without pain. I wish I had come here sooner, Mike. Whatever testimonials you already have, you would put in the desire section if you don't want to lead with price. Either way, have testimonials. Then you're going to want to move to objections. So will this actually work for me? You could just actually put that text on the page, and then you could put, we only take on patients we know we can help. Another objection, I've tried therapy before and it didn't work. Most clinics use cookie cutter plans. We create a fully customized approach. Or they could say it's too expensive. We help avoid costly surgeries and long-term medication use. This is an investment in your long-term health. So you see how you're hitting the objections and debunking already. Then you get on to the benefits. And so this is one-on-one expert care, no rushed appointments, no surgery, painkillers, just results, long-term solutions, not temporary relief. So these are the benefits that go along with your service, right? You're providing this service, but there are all these other things that come along with it, all these benefits. Now you have sparked the desire. Now it's time for action. You can have any kind of offer here, but basically you're just calling them to action. Click below to book your appointment, fill out the form below, and make sure that there's some contrast here, that the form or whatever it is that they're filling out stands out from the rest of the page. And you're going to want to have scarcity on there if you actually can. So a lot of people feel uncomfortable with scarcity, but there are ethical ways to do scarcity without having to feel sleazy. And how you do that in a very easy way is, let's say you only have, 15 slots open for evaluation in a given week, or you have 15 sales calls open this week. You can just straight up say that, hey, sales calls or discovery calls are limited. You might want to sign up before they run out. Something like that, because what that does is it adds a little bit of pressure to the person, knowing like, hey, this person's busy. They do run out of slots. Again, I would only ever say things that are true, but scarcity is going to push the needle a little bit. People are uncomfortable using it, but there's a reason why it's at the top of the list for most marketers. Scarcity works. If you can add some ethical scarcity, absolutely do it. And then the last thing I'd have on the page is social proof. Typically, Google reviews, screenshot of Google reviews, something like that. It's kind of in that testimonial vein, but it's a little bit more, verified social proof through a third party. And so it goes a long way. And that is the AIDA framework. Again, don't get too wrapped around doing every single thing I said in the example, but if you can grab their attention, generate the interest and the desire, and then call them to action, AIDA, you will be moving along quickly. So let's recap. You're going to put the button on your page. You're going to make sure that it leads to the next logical step in your business. You're going to track your conversion rates, and every 30 days, you're going to test something new if the conversion rates aren't where you want them to be. On the page that you lead people to, you implement the AIDA framework, so you know that you are optimizing conversions with a very proven framework. If you can do all of those things, you will be on your way to building a better business. So try harder, live bigger.